The budget session seems to be in serious jeopardy, with the BJP threatening to boycott Union Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde for his comments on saffron terror. Joining us now is Minister of State for Home Affairs, Mr. R.P. Singh. Thank you very much for joining us on Hot Pursuit. The Home Minister has alleged that the BJP and the RSS organize terror training camps. I'd like you to explain to our viewers what proof does the Home Ministry have of this?
Well, before I answer that question, Rahul, I would like to make it very clear. Whenever the elections are close, the BJP always looks for issues of getting religion into its main theme. The statement the Home Minister made said that in the incidents that happened in the Samjhauta blast or the Mecca blast or the Malegaon blast, there were people associated who had a close association.
That's not what he said.
Yeah, that
he
close
says
association.
That there is now evidence to show that the BJP and the RSS organize terror training camps. The BJP is the principal opposition party. The RSS is a massive social outfit which has crores of people following it. All of them would like to know what is the evidence you have to back this claim.
What he claimed, which he has clarified, that he has said that people in these three cases, people found associated with the RSS and the BJP. What the BJP is saying, that the Home Minister is making statements against Hindus. I would like to absolutely make it clear that he has not made any statement against any religion or any religious person. He is talking about the incidents that take place. In fact, the BJP, to be able to be answering those questions, is trying to hide behind as if the Home Minister is attacking a particular religion.
There are people from the Congress party who have been involved in cases of rape, in cases of murder. That doesn't make the Congress a party of criminals, rapists or murderers.
But
in
no
the same
Congress
way,
party,
just because a handful of people might have been involved in terror charges.
No Congress leader has gone to the Prime Minister to take the case of those rapists or criminals who were found in the Congress to have them released. While senior leadership of the BJP has been to the Prime Minister in regard to these people who were accused in these blasts. So you can imagine that the leadership is actually backing these people who were accused in these blasts. So that is something different. What the BJP is trying to do, first of all, the Parliament is coming. They don't, as usual, they want to disrupt Parliament at some pretext or the other. Next thing, the elections are coming. If you see, the BJP and the RSS have just had a meeting where they said that we must not forget the temple issue also. So all these things add up to the thing of polarization under religious sentiments. That is what the BJP, because it has no issues.
No, but the charge can be leveled that this was actually done first by the Congress party. You were the ones who brought up the issue of saffron terror, gave terror a religious hue. It's the Congress that did it first. The BJP is reacting.
The Congress party is very clear as far as terrorism is concerned. We are very clear that terrorism has no color, has no religion, and the Congress party has always...
Why don't you tell that to Digvijay Singh or to Mr. Chidambaram or to Mr. Shinde? All of them have given terror a religious color.
They have never spoken about religious color. They have spoken about involvement. The BJP is not going to certify who Hindus are. Is the BJP going to give a certificate to me saying I am an Hindu, or is it going to give a certificate to...
If we talk
about RSS or we talk about BJP, does not mean that we're talking about Hindus.
So we should get that cleared. So Minister, you're still admitting that your charge remains that the BJP and RSS organized terror training camps. You're backing that comment without giving us proof.
I am making the comment that people who were found in those blast cases, who had association with the RSS and the BJP, should come clear. The BJP and RSS should come clear on those factual positions instead of talking that the Congress party is pointing fingers at Hindus, which is absolutely, utterly nonsense.
So there is no retraction, there is no calming down of tempers, in which case the conflict will escalate. What will happen in the budget session of Parliament, which is now only a few days away?
Well, the BJP, as you know, whenever Parliament is about to be called, they always come up with some reason to stall Parliament, which is extremely frustrating. And the people of this country want debates in Parliament and want bills to go through, be it bills regarding women's issues or other Lokpal bill or other issues. But that is something it's been repeatedly, if we see over the last sessions of Parliament, whenever it's been called, they come up with some issue and they don't want Parliament to work, which is extremely, disappointing. And if this is what the opposition party wants, meaning the country is watching them and will reply to them.
You see no reason for the Home Minister to retract. As his junior colleague, you are backing him all the way on his comments on RSS and BJP being sponsors of terror.
The BJP and the RSS should definitely say what they are saying. What
No,
proof
but
is
since
come out?
2007, there hasn't been any other instance. Couldn't this also just be an aberration? Why is the Congress trying to turn this into a political issue?
We have not made any issues. The BJP has been shouting and screaming from every rooftop and every television channel and how the Congress is talking about a particular religious group. We are not talking about any religious group. We are not talking about Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Isais, anybody. We are talking about their party being associated with things and their top leadership walking to the Prime Minister and asking for them to be released. That is something that the BJP should be answering instead of talking about Hindu dignity, which the Congress party looks after the dignity of all its citizens.
Because both Sushma Swaraj and Rajnath Singh, whom I interviewed, denied the fact that they went and met the Prime Minister and asked for forgiveness for Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur or for Karan Purohit.
Well, there were some other. I'm not taking any leaders who went to the Prime Minister, but everybody
No, but
knows
that's
who
what
all went to.
Digvijay Singh said.
Well, whatever
Digvijay
was
Singh
said.
said, Mr. Advani, Sushma Swaraj,
I
and
don't want to
Rajnath
get into
Singh.
what this was.
Two of them have denied that.
Have they ever said that these people have they? Why don't they come clean on these people? They should say who Sunil Joshi was. Was Sunil Joshi part of the team? Why was he murdered? What was the reason behind that? They should let the people of this country know instead of making it a religious, sentimental
but it would
attack.
seem to a lot of people who are watching that in anticipation of the Lok Sabha elections, Congress is trying to polarize the electorate because it's the Congress that first talk of RSS and BJP being sponsors of terror. So you're worried about Narendra Modi marching from Ahmedabad to Delhi and therefore want to give the elections a communal hue in anticipation of Modi reaching Delhi.
Well, Rahul, we have always contested the election on issues relating to development, on the village, on the poor man, on the Aam Aadmi, and we have always fought those forces who have fought elections on communal lines, caste lines. So that is ideology, and it is everybody evident to the whole country. And we will continue to do that, and the Congress has never ever used religion as an election focus, and we know which party has done it, and we have seen what has been happening.
I now want to shift our attention to the Lokpal bill that's been passed by the cabinet, and there was a select committee of the Rajya Sabha that went and looked at the entire gamut of issues pertaining to the Lokpal bill, and there were two key recommendations that the Congress has now gone back on, even though there were Congress members in that select committee. Let's take them one by one. The first one is about public servants who've been accused by someone having the right to be first heard before an investigation begins. Now, this seems to me to be a very crazy idea. If, for example, somebody alleges that there is a secretary who's got assets disproportionate to his known sources of income, you'll first go and ask that secretary that, is this the case? Can I probe you? All the money that's lying stashed away, wherever it is stashed away, he will immediately hide somewhere, sir.
No, Rahul. Meaning it's not that simple as you make it out to be. Even today, people of senior officials are being raided. If the income tax or the other sleuths know that there is money available with the government officer or he has taken bribes, the government acts. And today we have a lot of cases, raids being carried out where money has been found with senior officials. It is on their decision-making path that the Lokpal is said that he has to be questioned. He has the opportunity of being asked why this particular decision is being taken.
No, this is about a charge being leveled against a particular officer, and that officer being given the right before the investigation begins of responding. Now, how will anything ever get proven if the officer is first asked, should you be investigated?
No, it's not being. These are the charges leveled. Even if you are arrested and under any criminal thing, you have given the opportunity.
That's after the arrest.
After the arrest,
that's natural justice. After you investigated,
government officials will be asked to. They will be given a chance to give their plea, which is, I think, very, very.
But won't they hide all the money?
No, if there's money stashed away, that is a different thing. Even today, if money is stashed away, there are a lot of officials who get raided. It's not that they aren't going to get raided.
If the mechanisms at play currently were satisfactory, there would be no reason to bring a Lokpal bill in the first place. Clearly, there is a deficit in the mechanisms we have at play right now.
I don't agree with that, Rahul. If you see, 16 recommendations were pending with the cabinet, which the standing committee, 14 have been accepted.
Two key recommendations have been left out.
Whichever recommendation, unfortunately, any bill that is passed, if all the recommendations, any standing committee proposal.
But this is not a standing committee, it's a select committee.
Select committee, any of the thing, all their views are never taken on board. Today we have individuals also getting extremely agitated if all their views are not taken. The government has to function under an umbrella of rules and regulations.
No. Let's come to the second recommendation which wasn't accepted. This is about CBI officers who are engaged in a probe being shunted out in the middle of that probe. Now we saw what happened with Mr. Khemka in Haryana. He was probing Mr. Robert Vadra's land dealings, and because he was unearthing information which is very dangerous for the ruling party, he was booted out. Now the same thing will happen to every officer who's probing. Why should the CBI officer not be moved out only after the permission of the Lokpal, which is what the select committee recommended?
No, well, Rahul, officers get transferred all the time. The probe continues, and the probe takes its final destination, and where people are booked
That's
or
not
not.
true. You know that,
No,
Minister.
I don't
That's
know.
not
I
the
don't
way
know.
this
Please,
country
no,
and
no.
the system
I
functions.
think it is making it very simplistic. A CBI is an independent body. It is an independent body which has been played out repeatedly as if the Congress is controlling that. In fact, so many people who the CBI investigated would not have landed in jail if the Congress party was
But why don't
controlling
you
it.
explain this? The
What?
select committee, which had people like Satyavrat Chaturvedi and others from the Congress party, recommended in their wisdom that no officer should be transferred out once he begins a probe on a case referred to it by the Lokpal. Till the time his probe gets completed, he should have a surety of tenure. Why not give him that surety of tenure?
For example, if it continues for 5 years.
No, but it's about a surety of tenure. So if he's there for 3 years, that's the period that he's supposed to be there for. You reserve the right now to shunt officers in and out. No officer can do his job in peace.
I think the CBI has done some great cases and it's got done. It can always improve, I say. But this kind of just to pinpoint as if the CBI is going to control everything is not under investigation of the CBI. It has taken into law as keeping its independent authority. The CBI cannot have the Lokpal going to the Lokpal. Why we should abolish the CBI and let the Lokpal look into all those kind of things?
This is something that the select committee, which was
But
an all-party committee, has recommended. I'm trying to understand from you, Minister, the government's rationale behind changing these recommendations. What is the logic? Why explain the logic?
Rahul, everything, all the select committee recommendations and other bills that have also been passed, the government does what is possible for it to do, and what would be, it has to look after the other institutions that are run by the government or their independent bodies. The CBI is an independent body which needs to have its own powers. The CBI director has his own powers. Nobody wants to interfere with those kind of authorities. Suppose somebody is not doing a good job. You answer me that is, suppose officer is not doing a good job.
Then the CBI director can tell the Lokpal that this particular officer is not doing a good job. If the Lokpal agrees, the officer can be moved out. But what will happen in more cases is when the officer is actually doing a good job, without checking with the Lokpal, now the CBI, at the behest of the government, can move that officer out.
So you mean to say the CBI director will always be a man who is
so far, it's been the case, whether it's
I think that is
so many former CBI directors have come on record to say that they were made to act at the behest of the government of the day.
It is extremely unfortunate if any CBI director
CBI
should have retired or he should have resigned. If we stand for something, Rahul, instead of following what the government is telling you, should resign. It shows a weakness in the gentleman who followed what the government did. If you believe in conviction, you should do what you think. It's very easy to say, when I was in the government, they put pressure on me, so I did it. What we're doing. That means that itself shows dereliction of duty. I think that is extremely unfortunate. If any officer says that I was forced to do it, why was he silent when he was in the job?
But what is the option? If he's got surety of tenure, if he cannot be shunted out,
I'm asking you, I'm asking you another thing. I'm asking you another thing, Rahul. Is that a dereliction of duty or not? If he says I was forced to do this and he did what the government is that a dereliction of duty or not? Why did he not raise his voice when he was asked to do that? But it is extremely convenient for people who retire now to say, I was forced to do, and what were they doing when they were in government? You are meant to be doing the right thing. Be it a politician, be a government officer, you are meant to be raising your voice if you see something wrong. If you do not do that, it's a dereliction of duty and you should be sacked for that.
Don't you think the government should also empower these officers?
They are extremely empowered.
By giving them a sense of surety?
They are empowered. They have all the powers. They have everything backing them. They should come up forward with them while they are in duty. It has become extremely convenient today when you have people retiring and say there are so many flaws. What were they doing when they were in office for 35 years?
Natural terrorism, cultural emergency, those are the phrases which are being invoked by writers, intellectuals, artists. It seems that free speech is being choked and the government is guilty of looking the other way, sir.
No, Rahul, I think as if you see the Kamal Hassan issue where the Vishwapuram movie is concerned, the Congress party and the government is absolutely clear that it should be released, and in fact it is running very successfully in Kerala and in Karnataka and other parts of the country also. It is extremely unfortunate that an incident like this, when the censor board has cleared it, we have always stood for freedom of speech and we continue to back that. It is unfortunate what has happened in Tamil Nadu. And
but do you not think that India is being held to ransom by the fringe mob, that the government is not standing up for the right of people to express what they want?
Well, if state police, as you know, state police is not controlled by the central government. If the chief minister says there's going to be a law and order problem, there's something that is something we can't do much
No, but
about.
surely the
we can-
thousands of police officers that are at the state government's disposal can take care of any possible law and order situation.
As the chief minister say, for example, Tamil Nadu, if Jayalalitha says that is not in the power to control it, there's nothing that the government can do about it. The central government can do that. We can only advise her. We can only tell her because police is a state subject.
No,
and
but
it has
look at
come-
what happened before the UP elections, sir, in Rajasthan. Mr. Ashok Gehlot said that Salman Rushdie's presence would be a law and order problem. Now, after that, he came to Delhi, he went to Mumbai, he went to Bangalore. Very clearly, that was a political stunt. There was zero law and order problem. Nobody bothered,
Rahul,
nobody was interested.
Be it Rajasthan or be it West Bengal, that is, I'm not the chief minister of either of the states, that's the chief minister's call. As far as I'm concerned, freedom of speech is something that we all stand for and we will always back.
No, but look at the number of instances, several of them in Congress-ruled states, like Maharashtra, where those young girls were picked up because of what they posted on Facebook.
No,
the
we
fact that
to
Section
take action.
66A was invoked.
We are committed to the freedom of speech, and as a government, as a minister in this government, I can say that we will continue to fight for freedom of speech. But we should also look out for people who come out with statements which actually hurt the sentiments of certain people. So that is something we really need to be careful.
Let's
But
deal with
we-
sentiments. Let's
Yeah.
deal with sentiments. For example, what Professor Ashish Nandi said.
Yeah.
Now, people may agree with him, people may disagree with him, but the task of any intellectual is to shape ideas, to guide discourse, and to spark a debate. If Ashish Nandi says that people can object, people can say they don't agree with what he's saying, but why should he be possibly arrested? Why should he be questioned? Why should charges be arrested? Leveled against
Even
him?
the Supreme Court, in fact, I would not like to comment on it because the Supreme Court has already made a judgment on that, saying that he should be careful of before hurting the sentiments. They have not arrested him, but they've told him they've given him advice that he should not be doing things like that. So that is something you have to be. I think name of freedom there is a very thin line. I always believe in the freedom of speech, and it should definitely be followed. But it is something where it is for the individual to think what he's saying. And sometimes I've read what Mr. Nandi said, that he said it in the heat of the moment. So it would seem as if he himself is apologetic about what he said. So I think there are things which sometimes are said which people can go back on. But in the
But
larger
look at
sense,
what happened with this person, Ravi the Indian, on Twitter. He put out a fairly innocuous comment about Karti Chidambaram. Karti Chidambaram complained to the cops. This person was raided at 4 a.m. in the morning. He was sent to jail and he was arrested.
no, but he was
What is
left immediately. I think
essentially a bailable offense.
when Mr. Chidambaram came to know, he stepped in and it was taken care of immediately. And I think it is just it's aberration. It's an aberration, and I think
No,
it is.
people who are watching this broadcast are concerned now.
Yeah,
That
it's an
if
aberration.
Put something on Twitter, put
No,
something
I
on
mean, there's
Facebook,
so
say
many
something,
things.
write something, they could be arrested.
Rahul, there's so many things that come on. It's an aberration, and we continue, and we're committed to the freedom of speech.
You recently signed up on Twitter
Yeah.
after staying away for a very long time, Minister. What made you join the social media bandwagon?
Well, I think it is something which reaches out to so many people, and I thought, and I spoke to. I've been following Mr. Shashi Tharoor, and there's something which is actually reaching out to so many people, and it is a new medium which reaches out to people. I'm very happy. I had some very welcoming tweets and not so very welcoming ones too. But I think it is something that you can get your ideas out to people who otherwise you would not be communicating with.
The citizens so far were feeling disconnected from the system. If the government can engage, if the government can make it seem as if their voice is being heard, people will feel reconnected.
If you see as far as this Justice Verma committee is concerned, I think it's remarkable what the government has done. Actually, it took Justice Verma and his committee to deliver in 30 days. The recommendation, the government has brought out the ordinance, is already moved for ordinance within 8 days. That was a commitment, and this is what I like to tell the people who were agitating on India Gate and other parts of Delhi, that we heard your voice. We were hearing your voice then. We are acting upon your voice, and this government is responsive to your voice.
But the BJP and the left are crying foul. They say that most of these recommendations are already being deliberated on the floor of the House, that the government is just trying to appease people by pushing an ordinance through. It's short-circuiting parliamentary procedure. These recommendations were before Parliament, should have been discussed and passed in Parliament, not pushed through in an ordinance.
We have done it because no such incident ever happens again that happened on that night of the 16th. We do not want any woman to go through what that girl went through. It is we are committed to making laws more stringent, that it acts as no other person can even think of doing such a crime before. And as far as BJP and other parties are talking about it, as you know, they're already talking of not letting Parliament function. So BJP, we did not want that the bill gets stuck in again for 3 months and people have this opportunity to actually. The Congress party is committed in Jaipur. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi made it very, very evident that it is we will make this our agenda to security for women. We have stepped up. The Prime Minister has intervened and got this ordinance going through. I think our commitment of safety of women is very, very much there.
I spoke to some top social activists, sought their reactions after the story of the ordinance getting passed by cabinet came through, and they said the government is guilty of gone in for easy pickings. You know, the decisions which were easiest to take have been accepted in the ordinance. The more contentious issues about large-scale reform, police reform, judicial reform, and also, for example, the recommendation on AFSPA being removed in areas like the northeastern Kashmir, those have been conveniently left aside by the government. So just to make people feel that something's been done, the easy decisions have been taken.
No doubt, we have taken the immediate decision that something that happened on that 16th night does not happen again. It is deterrent immediately that no one dares to do something like that again. These larger issues which need discussion, we are anyway send Justice Verma's recommendations to the standing committee. We are committed. It will come to Parliament. It will be discussed, and all these issues, be it what you've spoken about, will be discussed in Parliament. And this is not the finality of what is going to happen in the recommendations that have come. We will discuss more things in Parliament, and when the final act comes through, amendment comes through, there'll be all issues that will be discussed. This is not the end of it.
It's good to see a government say that the people's voice is being heard and acted on, because that's what people who've been protesting want to hear. They also want to see the government move beyond tokenism, improve systems, so that what happened on the 16th of December doesn't get repeated. You've been very candid in the interview, Mr. RPN Singh. Thank you very much for joining me on Hot Pursuit. Thank you.